Hey, Jack. Hey, this is my dog, Jack. We've been camping out here this weekend. We've got the shed sheeted up. All the sheets are on. Well, not all of them. I haven't done the doors yet. And once that's done, I'll do the flashing. And then I'll be ready to fit it out with solar. I haven't used actual purlins like C or Z purlins. All I've used is roof battens or some people call them top hats. But for the span that they're doing, you know, they're going to be plenty strong enough, especially being fixed to the 50 by 50 2mm frame. Where I've used ceiling battens, I've put 5 instead of 3. These are 40mm battens, and these are 25mm battens, I believe. But I've used more of them there to get more strength. I've cross braced everywhere because in North Queensland we get cyclones, so everything, wherever I could, I've put cross bracing to make it stronger. Really helps out in the cyclones. So this is inside the boar shed side of the shed, or the whole structure. It's Jack, you're being noisy for the camera. It's 1.5 deep and 1.8 wide, so it gives me plenty of room to work around the bore and to put the solar equipment, the batteries and everything that I need to in here. As I was saying in the first video, all of the electronical equipment's going on that wall there, on the far wall, and then on these walls we plan on just having, my wife and I just plan on having shelves and hooks to hang hoses and things like that on, a bit of storage space. Well, this is the shower side of the shed. I should have probably thought about this. It's 3 meters deep and still 1.8 meters wide, and as you can see, the roof, as I was saying before, comes out about halfway through this shed. So when you're having a shower, it's going to be open at the top, which gives it more of that outdoor feel. And if it's raining or, you know, dewy or whatever, or hot during the middle of the day, we can stand under the rooftop here and get changed, stay nice and dry and that sort of thing. I'm also going to put LED strip lights into the ceiling of this. Just screw them up, wire them in, and have a switch near the door, 12-volt switch. So when we're having a shower at night, or when we need to use this area at night, we've got lighting. And also inside the boar shed, I'm going to have the same sort of strip lighting up in there and run it off the switch, and run it all off the same 12-volt batteries inverter. And this is the shower side of the shed. We plan on having the shower head around the middle, up here somewhere, build it up, and the hot water system will be mounted over there somewhere. I'm not 100% certain where that's going to go, but I'll work that out as we go. What we've used here is corrugated iron. It's called Corridec. It's a Metro product. This is zinc aluminum, and it's 16 millimeters deep, the Corridec itself. And it's really strong building material. We use it a lot here in Australia for a lot of top buildings, especially sheds, but also a lot of roofs and things like that. And it's really common. What I've done here is I've used the 5-screw method with corrugated iron, depending on where you live in Australia, but in Queensland, because we have the cyclones during the wet season, we're recommended to use the 5-screw method, where there's 5 screws in every sheet, and that includes 1 through 2 sheets every time the sheets overlap. But if it was a 3-screw method, the screw would go in every 3rd valley, and that'd end up being 3 screws per sheet. So it's not as strong, but it's still strong enough to be approved in some areas. It depends on where you live. So that's what I've gone with. I like to use this method with every shed or every structure, roofs, walls that I build, and it just makes it a lot stronger. The other thing I'll mention is when you're screwing walls on, most people like to put the screws in the valley of the corrugated iron, and that way when you're walking past it, if you brush along the wall, it's not catching on your clothes, and it just looks better, because if you're standing from an angle on the side, you can't see a lot of the screws. Whereas if you're screwing the roof on, you go through the higher part of the corrugated iron, and that way the water runs through the valley and it doesn't actually sink in to the screw hole and your roof leaks. So when you're screwing corrugated iron on for a roof, you screw it through the high part. When you're screwing on for a wall, you screw through the valley. And it's pretty basic. On this structure, I've got 3 doors. Two doors are together as a barn door, and then the one door on the side there for the shower. And they're just made up out of 40 by 40 mil box, 2 mil thick, and I just welded them up into a rectangular frame. It's as easy as that. The hinges are quite large, beefy hinges I put on to support the doors, and you'll see they're sticking out quite a bit here. That's to make up for when the iron goes on the front. You always want the pivoting part of the hinge to be out past all of your walling, on the outside of your walling. Basically, then when the door opens, the wall or the material that you use for the door and the cladding on the outside of the shed is not going to bind up when the door's half open. So these doors will be able to swing right around without binding up on the material on the side because of how far out they're built there. So I've used a total of 6 hinges on this, and they're all basically set up the same way on all 3 doors. Okay, so that's the basic structure, the basic way that I've set up this shed. I reckon she's going to stand up in a cyclone. I reckon she'll stand up through anything, but that's just me. And yeah, hopefully I've given you some ideas and something that you can take home. Maybe you want to build a little chook pen or something, you can use the same sort of ideas. I don't know, it's up to you. But yeah, basically that's the outline of it. In my next video I'll get into more of the fun stuff, like putting the solar panel on the roof and some of the electrical equipment in there. Well, I think it's funner anyway. I like all this stuff, but it's really only building up to what I really want to do. But anyway, alright, thanks for watching.